I started going to therapy, and which was
talk therapy.
Yeah, I started going to talk therapy. Extremely hesitant. I thought, well, I need to go to somebody. I have to go to somebody that's experienced what I've experienced. I need like a Vietnam vet or somebody that has seen action, and I couldn't find anybody. And so I just Googled. I just Googled therapist, talked to 2 or 3 of them, and walked into one, which was interesting because this was kind of before anybody really knew about the suicide epidemic, before PTSD and traumatic brain injury and operator syndrome or whatever they're calling it this week, kind of started getting out there. And man, it took me a while to warm up, but I love it.
Male or female?
Female.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love a female therapist. Mine currently is male, but there was a woman who I Googled when I was leaving my first husband. Before there was Doug, there was Dan, with whom I'm still friends, but we did get a divorce. And same thing, I Googled this woman, and she totally changed my life. You never know. I mean, you can strike gold.
Yeah.
And then there are yellow pages or Google pages as it is now. And I can relate to doing that and having it be a life changer.
Yeah. Good for you. I'm happy for you.
Oh, thank you.
So yeah, interesting enough, she had never ever talked to a combat vet, and wound up, I did my own research, and wound up being a pretty staunch liberal, which I probably wouldn't have gone to her.
So you were more conservative going in. I know you lean right now, but back then you were too.
Yes,
okay,
definitely. Probably more so. But I got to be honest, that woman is like an angel, and I don't care what her political beliefs are. That woman has saved more special ops guys from suicide than anybody saved in combat, than anybody I know. And she still does it to this day. And that was back in probably 2015, 2016 timeframe. And it was me. And when I left the agency, I was also trying to save my best friend's life, who had a terrible heroin addiction. And I talked him into going in to meet her. And then I just started telling everybody. And I remember my best friend's name was Gabe, and we gave her a SEAL team plaque just to say thank you. And because she was helping us out, she had dubbed her prices down, and just an amazing woman. And now you go in there, and her entire office is just plaque after plaque after plaque.
Pretty soon you're going to see a Trump banner. She's going to be wearing the MAGA hat.
Yeah, but that would be a sight to see. But I mean, the reason I say that is because there are some things that can political agendas don't. Yeah, they don't get in the way.
Transcend politics.
You don't see that very often these days, and I think that's important.
I love that you said that. I feel the same. I have very strong political views on a number of issues, but pretty much 80% of the people around me who I love in my life, the woman who raised me, all my best friends growing up, are liberal. They're not woke, but they're liberal. They're Democrats. So I have tons of love in my heart for all of them, even though they don't vote the way I vote and they don't feel the way I do about the issues that are really important to me, but I don't care. Yeah. Those don't have to be the stakes of the relationship.
Yeah. It takes a strong person to overcome that these days, but they're out there.
Yeah. Do you say her name, or at least her first name? Her
first name's Amy.
My lady was named Amy. What
Really?
area of the country was this? Missouri?
Well, no, that was that's South Florida.
Okay.
Yeah.
My lady was in the Virginia area, Northern Virginia.
Interesting.
Well, we'll talk after.
All right.
Specifics. But same thing. when you were telling me that story, it reminded me. So, we have military guys on all the time because I just absolutely respect the hell out of you guys and what you do. And as I said, would love to raise 2 little soldiers, but don't really want to for the reasons discussed. And we interviewed Dakota Meyer.
Oh.
And of course, his story is just, it's incredible. Medal of Honor. He talked about how he was drunk up there when President Bush was pinning the medal on him, or was Obama. And he talked very openly about how difficult it was for him to come back and miss the guys and miss the adrenaline and just dealing with the trauma of everything he'd seen and done. And he talked about his own moment of super low and being rescued by an angel. And we pulled the soundbite. So take a watch.
I felt like where I was at in life at that point, that I just couldn't get my stuff together, and I should fix it, right? Like the fear I could see in people's eyes, with me, like I was a monster. It's just like drinking and just, the thing is, and people don't talk about this much, you don't fight evil with nice people. And I remember driving home, and I pulled off this highway at my buddy's shop because I knew, I didn't want anybody worried about me, right? So I pulled in, and I knew that he would be in because he comes into work every morning. And I was going to do it right there. I stuck it to my head, and I squeezed the trigger, and it just it went click, and there was no round in it. And I don't know if, I feel like I know who did it. I don't truly know though.
But he said he does believe he knows a friend had removed the bullets from the gun.
Wow. He thinks it was a friend?
Yeah.
Does he know who it was?
He said he thinks he does. But that's an angel. That's a real life God's angel on this earth.
Yeah.
Looking out for him. She saved him. And I believe, Amy may have saved you, and maybe my Amy saved me. It's like, yes, you kind of have to be a willing participant, but I know you found faith, and I'm also a person of faith. And I do think, if you're just open-eyed, you can see these angels, often all around us.
Yeah.
And they look like mere mortals, but they were sent here for a purpose. That your therapist goes home at night, and when she looks back at her day to say, what did I do today that really mattered? My God.
Yeah.
Does anybody have a better roster?
Probably not. Probably not. She's amazing.
Now you're doing it. That's kind of how you make your living now. Just talking to guys who probably aren't that used to talking about this stuff in a safe place, right? Somebody who gets it. Mm-hmm. It's kind of a form of talk therapy, just to sort of be able to speak about it. At least it's a step.
Well, it is. And, I think, my podcast is done well. And
super well. You're being humble.
And, but I give Amy a lot of credit to how I interview, because I realized in therapy, and she really didn't say a whole lot. And a lot of times you just start figuring things out yourself by just getting it out.
Can your savings weather an economic storm? Think about what you've put away for the future. Inflation can render cash worthless. Real estate can crash like it did in '08. Economies built on a mountain of debt can fall like a house of cards. There are very few physical assets you can invest in that can stand the test of time. But gold has withstood as a valued form of money. It's why many people are flocking to it now, and why Birch Gold is busier than ever. Through a little-known tax loophole, Birch Gold lets you convert a retirement account into a tax-sheltered IRA in physical gold. And the best part, it doesn't cost you 1 cent out of pocket. To learn more, text MK to 989898 and claim your free info kit on gold. Again, can your IRA or 401k weather an economic storm? If not, consider looking into Birch Gold. Just text MK to 989898 and explore securing your savings today. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.